So we're kind of in that dead part of the NBA offseason. Not a lot's happening. Summer League's over. We're kind of just waiting for the season to start. So thank God for James Harden just blasting the Sixers and give us something to talk about.
Yeah, I was hella bored. There's no NBA news, no NBA drama. The Dame trade is stalled out. And this Harden saga is just so damn funny.
I was going to say, we got NBA news and NBA drama now. Before we start talking about James Harden, if you haven't already, make sure you leave this video a like, give us a subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on one of our videos. So before we get into this, yes, we just made a video a couple weeks ago about the decline of James Harden, and we still stand by everything we said in that video. And I think just as full disclosure, neither of us have really ever been big fans of Harden, at least I haven't.
Yeah, not really me either. I mean, we always hated him from the 2014 playoffs on, and nothing's really changed, so yeah, don't really like him.
Don't really like him, but I think we can both kind of see where he's coming from. But let's start out with the quote. And boy, what a quote it was. Look, I was under the impression that scorched earth policy was outlawed by the 1977 Geneva Conventions, but this man went straight up scorched earth. This fucking quote, Daryl Morey is a liar and I'll never be part of an organization he's part of. He repeated that twice just on some random press tour in China.
Well, he went to the place where he knew Daryl Morey would be hated. He's like, I'm going to China, time to roast this man. Imagine you're in China, your favorite player is James Harden, you're going to some event, maybe hoping to get a little autograph, and you're like, what? What? That was so random and funny.
I can imagine, what if Kylian Mbappe came to America to promote Nike and he just starts trashing PSG? That's basically what Harden did.
I also love the tweet he put out. He just put out that tweet, China tour was amazing or whatever it said.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened. And everyone replies is did something happen over there? I think there's something you're not bringing up.
He was doing TikToks.
He was.
With the people in China, just nothing is wrong. God. Nothing happened. You know what? Fair play to him for just I got business to do. I'm here to promote stuff. Gonna get that done.
Yeah. Kyrie, of course, supported him. Woj tweeted out that thing, disgruntled superstar James Harden. He said whatever, and Kyrie came in with Adrian, is he disgruntled or is he just holding Daryl Morey accountable?
Well, two things about that. One, if you look up the definition of disgruntled, yes, he is disgruntled. Also, lest we forget, Kyrie said, if you have me back, I plan on re-signing, and then dipped.
Yeah, I get what Kyrie's saying. I get the point. Wrong person to make the point.
Exactly. So from James Harden's perspective, like I said earlier, I think we both kind of understand where he's coming from. He took a big pay cut last season to give the Sixers more flexibility. He basically took a 30% pay cut. And I think everyone assumed that the Sixers would give him a big contract this offseason. By the way, the extra cap space they had last summer, they used it to sign PJ Tucker and Daniel House. They made a big difference.
Yeah, PJ Tucker was all right. He was decent in some playoff games. Daniel House was a damn ghost. So,
yeah. So I could see from Harden's perspective, the guys you brought in didn't make a difference. I took this big pay cut and now I want my money. But the Sixers, they're no, we don't think you're worth that. So he's all right, well, let me opt into my contract then so you guys can trade me. The Sixers okay, we'll trade you. And then they didn't trade him. So they've essentially lied to him twice now. So, I would be pissed too if my boss lied twice to me.
Yeah, he kind of deserves to get that big contract. There was basically, the rumor is an under the table deal was there.
And this is basically his last chance to get that big contract.
Yeah, he's old. And the problem is there's no one else that was really bidding against them. It was the whole, the Rockets are going to offer him the money and they didn't do that. If you're the Clippers, what are you really going to offer? You're not going to offer a star player like Paul George in return. So it's kind of the situation where I completely get where Harden is coming from. He basically was promised there was going to be a big bag this summer and it really hasn't happened.
Yeah, and from Morey's perspective, I get it from Morey's perspective too, because his job is to do what's best for the Sixers, not what's best for James Harden. And lest we forget, Daryl Morey's kind of been through this before. Back in 2018, when Chris Paul was a free agent, he basically did the same thing. Re-upped with the Clippers for that last year of his contract so they could trade him to the Rockets. He gets to the Rockets, has a great year, wants a max contract, and the Rockets are hesitant to give it to him because long-term, it's probably not the best thing to do. They eventually did give it to him. So Morey's been through this before, and he folded. He's not folding this time, though. Also, when Chris Paul got traded to Oklahoma City, he just came out and said that Daryl Morey lied to him. So there's that, too. And I guess the Sixers tried to trade him, although Woj said they broke off trade talks on August 12th. But from what I've heard, the Sixers are just asking for way too much. They think they should get a star plus picks back for an older washed James Harden. Harden is still a decent player, but he's not not even worth remotely close to that.
Well, here's the problem. First of all, giving James Harden a max at his age,
Bad idea.
with his injury history, with that damn hamstring, is a awful idea. So there's that. You don't want to do that. Second, Daryl Morey always holds out to trade these players. He held out for Harden. And also, there's not a lot of suitors for him. Like, besides the Clippers, who else is going to offer for him?
And even the Clippers, apparently they didn't want to give up Terrence Mann and first-round picks for him. Like, that's how far Harden's value has fallen.
And the other problem at this point, Harden's kind of a cancer.
It kind of is a cancer.
Like, just a little. This is his third team in basically 3 years. And for 3 straight years, he's basically just quit on the team.
At what point is he the problem?
I'd probably say after the Nets thing. Remember that one play against the Pistons? He literally stopped playing.
I tell you what, the Sixers got to be worried about Joel Embiid now at this point, too. That's the thing Morey's really got to worry about. Embiid, apparently he removed the 76ers from his bio. He changed his profile picture. He's out here tweeting about soccer at this point. Like, dude seems about as disengaged with the Sixers as Harden is. And if you lose him, you are F-U-C-K-E-D fucked.
Well, I know people can criticize Joel Embiid, and that's completely fair, especially after he failed to reach the conference finals again. But if you look at what he's been surrounded with and all the dumb decisions and dumb players he's had throughout his time with the 76ers, I wouldn't blame him if he asked it out tomorrow.
So what's the end game here? Will Harden redeploy the fat suit? Will he report to training camp? I mean, if I had to guess, I would say he reports to training camp, because apparently under the new CBA, if he doesn't report by November 1st, the Sixers can prevent him from becoming a free agent next year. And at that point, you can just say bye-bye to any potential max contract.
He will report, I'll guarantee you that, but I think it's going to be Operation Fat Suit to another level.
Okay.
Like, he'll deploy the fat suit, he'll just start making a mess of training camp, maybe do that thing Andrew Bynum did where every time he got the ball, he'd just immediately shoot it. I think this man is going to make 76ers training camp a living hell until they trade him.
Is he going to do what Jimmy Butler did when he went back to the Timberwolves, just like get in arguments with everyone, scream at everyone?
Yeah, win a game with the third stringers and then do an ESPN interview right after.
Well, his agent came out and said that Harden was like, he was in the best shape of his career. You know, he's hungry. Maybe he'll win the MVP. Maybe Harden reports and wins the MVP.
Yeah, that's straight cap.
Yeah.
Harden ain't winning no MVP. I could see him going to another team. Who knows what team it could be, and kind of balling out like a little revenge tour, but he's not going to be that good. I ultimately think he's not a Sixer this year. I cannot see him staying on the team and playing through this.
I could see him staying on the team, not pulling the fat suit, but pulling the Ben Simmons. Not necessarily like the mental health, but, you know, back tightness, sore ankle. And if the Sixers really want to put him through the ringer and be like, no, we're going to get our doctors to test you and see if you actually have anything wrong, they could do that. But I think Harden is just going to do that. Fake injuries, not play hard. When he does actually play, maybe intentionally play like shit a little bit. And eventually the Sixers are going to be like, you know what? He's more trouble than he's worth.
I just can't wait for what happens next. This saga just continues. It's so great. Get your popcorn ready and let's see what happens.
One last thing I want to get your opinion on, because I've seen this a lot on like social media, Twitter and whatnot. Like, is this player empowerment run amok, or is this someone who has genuinely been wronged and they're just trying to get like what they feel like is theirs? Because I honestly feel like it's more towards that than it is player empowerment. Because like if Morey promised Harden twice, we'll give you a big contract and then we'll trade you, and he got neither, like, I don't know if I would do what he's doing, but if he feels like he's been wronged, I could see him being very upset and doing something like this and be like, look, I'm not gonna stand this. I opted into my contract because you told me I would be traded. I would have opted out and gone somewhere else if I knew you weren't gonna trade me.
Well, here's the thing. It's a bit of both. Yes, you're 100% right, but at the same time, it's James Harden, and he's done this, like I said, 3 times now. And he didn't have to opt into the contract. He could have gone somewhere else. Maybe it's not a max contract like he wanted. You got to realize there's nothing obligating the 76ers to do anything, so I think you got to take that into account as well.
No, that's true. I agree with that, but at the same time, like, if Morey gave Harden his word, I know it's not in writing, I know it's not legally enforceable, but like, you're only as good as your word. And if Morey straight up lied to Harden, I think he's got reason to be this upset. That's the video, guys. What do you think of the whole James Harden, Daryl Morey saga? I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving it a like, as it really does help us out. And while you're here, why not check out some of our other videos as well? And don't forget to subscribe to Synthetic Sports.